Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's podcast. This is podcast number 17. My name is Atlas, coming to you from Always Warm, Always Sunny, Eternity. The contract balance is showing an LTV of 754,916 Crow, and users are 977. Everything is looking fantastic. More users showing up. If you haven't noticed, we've had a great influx of new users over here and new members of our Telegram. We're at 1,410 members. That is a great increase from yesterday. The marketing efforts by Mr. Steve H. are absolutely being felt and seen by everyone who's been here. So that's quite fantastic. The crow price is sitting at 25 cents bargain, as the all crypto markets are right now going lower and facing some downward pressure. That's what's been going on. However, for those of us who are already invested in Eternity, we understand that as the price of crypto goes down, we are hedged. We are earning up to 8% on a fluctuating variable rate. According to our LTV, the time of day, how many folks are compounding, how many folks are depositing or claiming if it's their seventh day. With that, it is important to be noted that when we have a lower LTV, the rewards are at a lower percentage. However, don't be fooled. Do not get it twisted. You are getting a whole lot more AON. That is absolutely a fantastic thing. These AONs are working for you, and as the LTV increases and the rates that are being paid out increases as well, you're going to have so much more. Because this is a long-term investment. So your win when going lower and your win when it's going higher a lot more. So blessed are those who are showing up to be able to get in 25-cent Crow, coming here to Eternity, being able to get in and immediately, have a ton of Aeon to them, into them, and you all keep them there. Think of them as your minions, right? Working for you on the contract side, making sure to every second of every day be trying to get you as much Crow into your rewards as possible. So we are fanatics of the Eons. We want them being assigned and attached to us, working for us 24/7. And let's hear one quick second. Let's see if our Mr. Steve H. He is Steve H. Dan of not the hour of the past 24 hours, bringing the heat, bringing the masses over to Eternity, letting the world know and shouting out from all of the platforms, the Twitter. I mean, Steve, let me just go ahead and put you on, man. Nobody does it better than you, sir.
All right, what's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Mother's Day. Spent some time with the family, and had a nice family day. It's always good to do that. But yeah, as far as the marketing, I kind of kicked butt today. Put in a lot of hours, and we were able to make a lot of partnerships and a lot of cross promotion. Essentially, is what it was. I wouldn't even call it partnership. It's a way that many communities can benefit from each other. And we were able to do that with so far about 7 communities. And, we are talking with a lot bigger NFT project communities that seem like they're very willing to do so because they like the project. And that's something where everybody needs to take the time, spend it with the family. And we're going to be picking back up tomorrow as far as the cross promotion goes. So everything was very successful today. We added roughly 80 members or so, which isn't too bad for 10 hours. And we've got our mass reach out going out as we speak. Now that normally kicks in on a gradual period, but a steady and consistent rise. So that's what we've got going on now. And we should see a very good couple days in front of us. There are bigger influencers, bigger, how can I say, just bigger outreach plans, much larger than what is going on here at the very moment, even though this is pretty big. In addition to that, we've just really gotten a lot of eyeballs on the project, even people who have seen it, who have not joined the group yet. And I say yet because it's not if, it's when. When people see things over and over and over again, at one point it clicks. It clicks in the head to, hey, this looks like a good project. They've been around a while, and that's where we're heading towards right now. And really looking forward to phase two because that's when the marketing really kicks in. And what's going on here today is a very small portion of what's to come. But I'm just really excited. Put in a lot of time today, and we're going to be moving forward in a manner that is having many tentacles out to the crypto community, the NFT community. As far as the NFT giveaway, I don't want to negate that fact that we are giving away 5,500 Crow, 55 NFTs. And I'm sorry to say, I really like the fives, but we've made new cross promotion deals and it's going to go above 55. We're already at 56 because we're giving away one rare NFT tonight at midnight, which is in roughly 4.5 hours. So, anybody who has achieved the highest rate of promotion will be receiving that NFT, which is worth roughly about $400 or $500. So, exciting stuff, and we're getting a lot of people in here who are excited to not only be able to win a portion of the 5,500 Crow, win some awesome NFTs, really awesome ones, but also they're making 12%. 12% on everything that they go out and they bring to the project, they bring to themselves, and they bring our project to these people, which is the real blessing. So, I'm just really excited to see everything kicking into gear. We're kicking butt, and we got a lot more coming, especially up to the phase two launch. That's when we're really going to be picking up and getting into gear even heavier. So, yeah, thank you, Atlas. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Don't go yet, Mr. Steve, because I have some questions. I'm seeing there's this whole group of shillers that are participating in the contest. I wanted to know if you could share a little bit about that, please.
Definitely, definitely. Well, what we've done, we just started this. Don't quote me on it, but I believe it was right around 12 hours ago, maybe quite a bit less. And right now, I'm logging in. We have 70 members, 70 members. So that is 70 people that are competing for the prizes. But also they're out there building their own bags. They're building their own commissions, is what I would call them. And everybody wins in this because as we're moving forward, the compounding rate, and just like you mentioned, Atlas, the fact that the TVL is lower, along with the rest of the market, that this is a healthy balance. It's not abnormal. And with that said, you are gaining much more Aeon, and that Aeon is what pays you your Crow. So the markets go up and down, but they always recover. And when you're getting more Aeon, your rewards later down the line are going to be substantially more, substantially. So with the show competition, we've also, I want to shout them out because they've been doing such a great job. We've got Long Shot and we've got the real Artorias. They've both been killing it. They've been helping me behind the scenes for over a week, much longer than that. I've worked with them for years, but they've been really doing a great job, and they're going to be helping to run the top promoter competition for the NFTs and for the Crow Cash prize. But yeah, I'm looking forward to sending out that NFT this evening, which is going to be again in about 4.5 hours. And for anybody who wins it, there's still time left to get out there and become the top promoter for this evening, for this day. And yeah, that NFT, I don't want to speak on price too much, but it has a minimum value of at least 400. But the sky's the limit. It is a fairly rare one, and it is a Cybele, which is one of the NFT projects that did cross promotion with us, and we've been doing that all over the place. So I'm very happy to be here telling you that. And did
And
you have
that's
any
four
other?
hundred
Did you have
dollars.
any?
That's $400 just because we're in Crow, and I just want to be clear. 400 B&B. What exactly is that value you're attaching to it?
So the value there, it's at least 400. You sell it for 400. I mean, come on,
But 400
come
what
on,
is what I'm saying? Is it
dollars,
B&B? Is it
dollars,
Crow? Is it dollars? Huh?
dollars.
Okay, thank you, sir. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
and
it's dollars. Worth
how's it
roughly.
looking?
Go ahead.
How's
Sorry.
how's how's it looking as far as those 70 people? I mean, I've been looking around over there peeking, but I want to get, you're the expert, your sort of feel on it, and the folks that are showing up through the contest, because I'm looking around and I just see a bunch of like really motivated guys. They're just like a bunch of killers, and they're firing away on those socials. What's your impression of it?
Oh, they're kicking butt, man. They're getting out there. I believe I could say this is not a conflict, but I had a chat with Ox from the Bull Society earlier, and he said he can't talk this evening about doing something together, but we are pursuing it. And he said, "We have seen you out there. We have seen you on Twitter. We've seen you throughout Telegram. We are making an impact, and we're becoming known. And as usual, Brad, killing it. Why do you need a
Yeah,
chat when you have a Brad?" And he's
absolutely.
been killing it, and he's been very successful. But we've got a lot of new folks that have come in, and there's different strategies on how you want to promote it, as far as getting the prizes, but more importantly, to building your investment here. And so some guys, they want to put in one crow, and they want to see how much they can go out and how much they can get, and what impact they can have on their investment by essentially not even being an investment, but being a proof of work and a proof of their labor. Other people, they want to ape in, that would be my strategy. Buy, buy, buy. And that would be mine, because I like to get in early, especially when Crow and the TBL is low, just like the rest of the market. So, the different strategies, and we're also going to be doing a little bit of education on what the differences between those strategies are. But in the end, the winning strategy is getting the name out there and going out there and killing it.
Fantastic, Steve. Thank you for that update, man. Great work. We're seeing the efforts paying off. The traction that's being achieved by your marketing efforts is clear, and absolutely appreciated. And with that, you mentioned something very important. We want to welcome all of the new folks that have heard about Eternity in the past 24 hours that are joining our community. We are here to grow together, to educate you, answer all of your questions. We got a fantastic group of admins, mods, and investors, really, that are all packed in here, compounding every day, growing every day, and it's every day is a happy day over here at Eternity, regardless of the market is doing. We are hedged. We are earning a super high APR, up to 8%, guys. That is absolutely fantastic, in my opinion. Anything over 1% is an absolute miracle in DeFi. You're going to get that at Bank of America or Wells Fargo, or Binance, or just anywhere else, guys. And then you add compound on top of that, and my friend, it's game over. It's absolutely fantastic growth. Man, I see we have one of our superstars here, Mr. Benny the Butcher, Acting XE. Sir, would you like to step up and tell us about your Mother's Day? What did you do today, and how are you feeling with your compounding and your investment here at Eternity?
I collected the other day. I claimed for the first time in a while, first time ever. I don't know how long that's been, but since the project's open, and I was happy, and then I also spend the weekend with my kid, just walking the dog, just soaking it up. It's easy when you just compound, you stop forgetting about everything. I mean, we can't control the price of Crow. We can control getting the word out. But some people, they get into a rut, and they look at it and they go, oh, the TVL is going down and whatnot. Well, it's going to go down. It's going to go up as more people we have. Then it goes up. People claim it goes down. It's just cyclical. And, same thing with the price of Crow. Crow's down. But when it goes back up, we're not even going to be worried about the price of Crow. The only thing we can control is just letting people know, based on, you got Brad, you got you guys doing that, that shilling contest for the Crow and a multitude of NFTs. So those are, I'm more worried about the things that I can control. And as long as I can control it, then that's perfect. Anything out of my control, I can't do anything about it. So why worry about it? But I'm seeing you guys, Atlas, Steve, putting in the work. So I appreciate it.
And we appreciate you, man. And how did it feel, that beautiful claim day, man, taking that passive income home, putting some food on the table, and seeing the investment work for you following that strategy?
I did like a silly thing, as people know me, I could be serious, but some days I do silly things. So my silly thing was, I'm not going to claim until the Crow that I had in my wallet went down to like I couldn't compound anymore, and that's when I took it. So now keep compounding, keep going up, and it all depends on what you feel comfortable with. With this, I know it's a long-term investment, and I'm also focusing on phase 2 when it comes, building out groups and whatnot. But I know that the miner in itself is a long-term thing. So as long as I'm responsible, I claim my 1 day, go back to compounding. If I decide, let's say after 7 days or 6 days, I want to compound again, all right, fine. If maybe I decide 14 days or whatever. But, the most important thing is just being responsible. If you want this to last a long time where it's past your house money, then you got to be responsible. And I would like to be able to, months from now, be like, oh, more, my paycheck.
And Benny, I'd like to ask you too. I'm personally a long-term guy, and I like dips. Dips are great. They're great for buying, and it's the Warren Buffett rule. That's how you do well. If you break that, you are you are going with the masses, and you're not following the strategy that is best for you. But with that said, with the market where it's at, I mean, how are you liking the amount of Aeon that you're getting each time you compound? Now that you did your claim, you're back to compounding.
Oh no, I'm happy. I'm not like a bag shower, but I'm happy being a day one guy that didn't go crazy. Went into my means just like any crypto. Crypto project that I go into. I always put in what I feel comfortable losing, and then once I get my initial, then then it takes emotion out of it. So with a lot of other like Crow, I bought some Crow. I've bought some other ones, and I'm putting in staking and then just letting it do what it's gonna do. You gotta decide what you want to do. Let's say
Right.
for your paycheck, or let's say you're worried about that Crow or whatever could go lower. Pull your paycheck, as we call it. Pull your paycheck. Put some into a stable, either it be USDC or whatever. So if your worry is that it could go lower from here, and now you're getting emotions involved, because we know that Crypto.com did their situation with their card, which I'm in a state that I can't use Crypto.com. So the card situation didn't really affect me. But for some people, it did. So if you feel or you're worried that,
Betty, they actually fixed that, right? Within 24
well,
hours.
yeah, I know they backtracked on it, so which is good. They listened to the.
They bent the knee. They bent
Yeah,
And I
the
guess
so
knee.
for me, it's been so
Yes.
cool to see, when I'm compounding, just the amount of Aeon that I'm getting. Because when everything goes, back to usual, and we're doing the marketing that's going to blow this thing up, and especially with phase two coming, we got a bright future here. But the amount of Aeon that I'm seeing, it is significant. And once we're back to a different level that we haven't even achieved yet, a much higher level, that extra Aeon that you're getting right now, it is very significant. So that's kind of what I meant with how I love the dip myself, because
oh
it
yeah,
compounds crazy.
you, you know what the weird thing is? Somebody will go into a project like a project as crypto. It goes up. Why did it go up? People bought. Why did it go down? People sold. Once you got that basics, you kind of feel good about stuff. Or Bitcoin's going down. Pretty much everything's going to go down. So when you have those thoughts, and you already believe in the project, and maybe you bought higher, if you believe in the project, then buy when it's lower, because everybody wants to be there the first day. They want to get that low market cap, but if you bought high and you believe in the project and you've already seen how it's going, why not DCA? So now you have a better average. I can never get that, but again, that's the Buffett rule: buy red. But it's buy red when you believe in the project. And from what I've seen, with everything, this isn't a project that when phase two happens, this will be pushed into the attic. It's still going to be two projects going full blast, and some people are going to be phase two people, some people are going to be minor people, some people are going to be both. But if we can get eyes that go into the phase two and they go, what's this over here? Then it's beneficial to both sides.
Absolutely, Betty. Absolutely. Couldn't agree with you more. And look, the markets overall, we had a great conversation yesterday regarding the state of the global economic uncertainty. And crypto markets are looking horrible in the sense that Bitcoin's going down, and they're all flopping and groping and crying. And unfortunately, they don't have a hedge on their on crypto. And for all those folks, this is a home. This is a place where they can come and they can get true DeFi passive income, super high APR, and be in a project that they don't have to worry that it's gonna the floor is gonna fall underneath them, and they're gonna reach the crypto abyss. Right? They're earning up and they're earning down. So that's the hanging. Those are the folks we want to go out and speak to as we gear up with the ultimate goal of going to, the rest of the globe with fiat, which GDPs are dropping left and right. Fiat currencies are losing value, across the globe. It's just a fact, gentlemen and ladies. It's happening, and you can't put your head, in the sand and think it's not. Because the prices of fuel, the prices of food, everything's increasing. We're seeing the inflation. We are in a recession, and we don't have to, be negative about it. We have to be proactive. We need to, find a way to make our assets, our fiat, our crypto be profitable, constantly expanding and flourishing. And that's what we're here to do at Eternity. So I think we're all engaged. But
And just a personal life philosophy. It's something that you always get through. You always get through, and there's always a brighter, greener pasture on the other side. And after you're through the abyss, you're into the bliss.
folks better
And
get ready
also,
to hedge themselves. You have to hedge yourself, man.
and also the thing is too, with the DeFi wallet, Grow has a very nice staking. APR. And, regardless of what the number is, for the price per token, I mean, look, where I don't even look at what Crow is today, but let's say it's at whatever, 30. Its previous high was at 94 cents. So what I'm going to do is put my paycheck, throw it over to staking, and then if it goes back to 90 or beyond, that's great. But in the meantime, I'm just getting more Crow through staking. Same thing, like if you do it the right way and you compound, you're getting more aeons. So make it work for you. And then when when we pull out of this bear market, then voila, without doing anything, you got more of what you wanted.
Absolutely. That's the name of the game. That's the plan. I like your new avatar as well. That's LeBron James with old school.
Oh yeah.
Where'd you find that?
Like I want to see the visual of that. Like, it was at a wrestling event that he was enamored that he had to, videotape it. How did that video? I want to see the video of that night. I want to see it's probably all pixelated and everything. Yeah. But he seems like, that was the height of luxury at that point.
Yeah, he's holding that thing as it was a double R phone, the Rolls Royce phone. Pretty hilarious.
And probably at the time it was. That's the sad part.
Freaking hilarious, man. You made me laugh when I saw that. I was like, man, that's I've never seen that picture before. Well, we got a couple of excellent folks here who are always contributing, always dropping knowledge and bringing wisdom to the project. I don't know if Brett, if you're able to share with us, tell us a little about your day and how's Mother's Day been for you, if you are able to speak, and talk to us about Eternity and what you're doing on your side.
I think he might be compounding.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love you, Ben.
Is there maybe somebody new here, first time in the podcast, you'd like to introduce yourself, ask a question of how Eternity works, or make a suggestion, a comment? We'd love to hear from you. Most of the folks in here actually recognize. Go ahead, Steve.
I was just going to say they're all compounding too.
Yeah, I recognize most of the folks that are here with us tonight. But we do see a lot of new members. Here's one I haven't seen before: Oreo Noki Persimoto. Oh man, what a cool name. Well, if this is your first time to Eternity, you don't have to speak if you'd like to. We'd love to hear from you, sir. We see Mark 2 and S2310G. I haven't heard your voice in quite a while. And if you're able to speak or you're in Mom's kitchen, having some of that fantastic Greek Mediterranean food. But if you are able to speak, there we go. What's up, buddy?
I wish, brother, but I lost her to the big C back in the cancer, 2007. Anyways, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everybody that's got them, and you should take care of them because there's only one of them in your life.
For your loss, brother. Sorry about that.
That's right. They say time heals everything. So I have a question too. Actually, like not a question, but like that's nice to discuss, I think. So when phase 2 comes, what's the connection between the miner in terms of like actual connection, like liquidity or any movement of amounts between the two projects, how the one reflects upon the other? So if one does underperform, what's the connection there between the two?
Great question. Thank you for that question. Well, initially the miner, the way we're referring to it, It's in a sense the training wheels on a bicycle, because it is a very simple to understand system. It is a one layer of one level, we call it, of rewards, right? Very high, up to 8%. And it's something that folks can easily understand. And the liquidity that's been generated from that, the 5% in and the 5% out, the intention is to add that to the liquidity of the phase 2, the contract balance and the token.
Oh,
Ideally,
cool. That's all I need. Actually, like I love the miner.
I got more for you.
Yeah, I love the
Okay.
miner. I love eternity. I'm compounding. Love the extra eons, and thank you to all the people. Like I don't think there are too many, but thank you to all the people that overclaim. I'm like, we're so thankful. I love the extra eons.
Right. Absolutely. And that's the payout, when things are on the decreasing side and crypto's on the decreasing side. Over here you're getting, rewarded in the eon, those minions, those miners that are out there working for you, and they stay with you throughout the project. So it is fantastic. You're seeing less crow rewards because there is less to go around. But as that starts to increase, now you're in a sense have more of a higher share in the pool. And those folks that are claiming, they're getting their crow, they're getting the rewards, but they're losing through that claim a bit of position from the folks that are just sitting there compounding, just getting more eons. So that's how it all balances. That's what's so beautiful. So the miner, going with the explanation here, the analogy of the training wheels on the bicycle, is a very easy beginner, concept, especially for folks if they don't want to really build a syndicate and have a lot of people come under them, 15 levels. This is a very comfortable, easy place where they don't really have to do much and they're earning a lot. The phase 2.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. The truth is what?
No, sorry. No, I didn't want to interrupt you. Go ahead and I'll.
Okay, I'll continue then. With the phase 2, it's more complex. Now you have 15 levels of rewards and compounding that's coming to you. You can build a full-fledged syndicate. You can really turn this into a huge sort of business. And at that point, it's more complex. You're able to airdrop because you're earning so many rewards every day from all the folks, some of them that you never even heard of or knew, but they came in through folks that were pretty much under you. And your responsibility there is also to give back to those folks that came in after you, that are part of your syndicate, connected to you, and give them airdrops. So we encourage folks to try both systems to see which one really works best for them. And there's also an extra edge here, an extra opportunity. If you, for example, on one side, for example, the LTV is low right now in the miner. And if you're earning on the phase 2, our drip upgrade, you could take those rewards and then put them over into the miner. And then when you have rewards from the miner and you see a little bit lower on the token with the drip, you could take those rewards and inject it over there. And that's pretty much what the essence here of the balancing, the yin and the yang, where if we see that there's liquidity that's very high on one and lower on the other, well, we're going to come and try to balance it out through the grand reserve vault. Keep a very balanced, very healthy liquidity so that everyone can feel comfortable and they're getting the most rewards possible out of the investment, as well as we're going to be going and going to cross-chain the miner. And now, those cross-chain miners, we're already got a name for them. They're called the giga miners. Just like Tesla has their giga factories where they make the Teslas, and we're not making Teslas, we're making Crow, and we're going to be making AVAX and Polygon Matic, and we're going to be doing FTM, and we're going to be pretty much in every chain, giving those folks who want to be able to earn in AVAX or Polygon or whatever they might want, they're going to be able to earn there, but all of it's going to come to the central system. It's all going to balance out. So, it's like a corporation or a factory with many different factories, and they're all under one company, one umbrella. So that's, kind of the gist. I hope that gives you a little more insight into your question.
Oh, no, it's perfect. Yeah. I'm very good. And I brought friends in, and they're happy and they're amazed with the returns, even with little money. Their bag is growing, and others put more money in it. And essentially, if you think about it, like the and correct me if I'm wrong, the main difference between phase one and phase two is about like there are other differences, but like as to the levels, the main difference is like that you can interact at these 15 levels and you can give back and all that good stuff. But if you think about it, even in phase one, you get some of the benefits of that leveling system because, like, I bring someone in, he brings someone in, and whatever. And each time the compound, the other guy compounds, and the other guy comes. You again, you're taking money from many levels below you, but it's not that.
100%.
It's not the same relationship and functionality of the phase two.
Correct. You cannot see that through the API as clearly as you're going to be able to do it into phase two.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you brought up the point. You are being rewarded. And you know, sometimes there's a few people that are new at this, and then they're like, hey, you know, 4 hours ago, I had so much pro, and then, you know, a couple hours later, you know, I compounded, I want to compound again. And it's like half the amount. What's going on? And, you know, sometimes, you know, it's just mathematical that maybe somebody under you who had a really large bag, a really large amount, did a huge compound or deposit, and then the person below you got it, and then they compounded, and doom, you know, that instant, that minute, your reward was like, hey, what's going on here? And that's I encourage folks, like, you know, don't try to sit there, you know, like a mathematician, like a mad scientist, like Count Dracula, with a pen and the Excel, and think that you're going to be able to, at any second to get it back. It's really impossible because there's so many actions happening at any given second, right?
Yeah,
and you
no,
can't.
yeah, you're absolutely right. You cannot calculate. The more people you bring in, actually, like you can never have like you can never calculate these things. Like I've seen my rewards like being when I do my checkup, check out, you know, I check out my account and want to compound, and then boom, there are like 200 crow more for me to compound. You know, like someone below me or like someone came in like that. As time goes by, those amounts will be bigger and bigger and bigger. So it doesn't take too much to understand how this will develop in the future. You know.
Absolutely. Thank you for understanding that, because yeah, there are some folks, and they're very technical, and they want to understand, and we want, you know, everyone to be able to understand. And when you go into the phase two, the interface there, the way that contract set up, it's several contracts working together. You have a more let's say precise API to be able to see exactly, you know, almost to a point of what's going on. I don't want to say exactly, but you're even able to see how many people under you are compounding, how many are claiming, who's bringing deposits in. You know, in the first version, to be absolutely transparent with you guys, it's not going to be full-fledged, you know, to the level that we're speaking of. That's going to come a little bit later. Give us a couple of weeks. We're going to, you know, create a more robust API than the folks over at Drip have. The one at Drip, I don't want to talk bad about anybody. I love the project. You know, they've been so successful, and they inspired us, you know, just like baked beans. But, you know, I can't, from the fact of my opinion, that visually their API, when you're looking at the wallets under you and how everybody's connected, it's not very visually appealing, right? We want to, you know, change that, because, as you know, we're going to market to the world, to the nurses, to the doctors, the truck drivers, you know, anyone that really is looking for some extra income and a passive income for the long term. So we want to be able to create a visually appealing API that's just going to really transcend that, like, wow, okay, this is so simple, this is so beautiful, and that's the magic and that's the talent of Gordy, who's here tonight. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Gordy? We haven't heard from you tonight, buddy. How are you doing?
Yo, I'm doing amazing. Currently rendering the about almost the final AMAs. So we're almost up to date, and then they're getting posted on YouTube. Next up for me is the promo video, which you guys can show. I'll send it in the show group as well, and it will be pinned everywhere. So you guys be excited whenever you see that one. I'm sure. And yeah, everything's going great. Keeping up to date with the banners, and like you said, the interface is like my masterpiece in this project so far. And I'm really looking forward to the release of the phase 2 and to see people play around with the new interface. And it's so important that it's easy to use, and that's something that we want to include. And in every aspect, like you said, the API as well, that's something that I look forward to design and make it very easy to see your downlines and those details, and to play around with the platform and gain knowledge.
Fantastic, brother. Thank you for that update. Yeah, that's gonna be important.
I think
Go ahead.
something good to touch on here. I wanted to ask you a question just because I get it a lot, explained it a lot. But just as you had mentioned, we're going to be going to many different blockchains with miners that all feed to the central hub. And a lot of people have asked, so basically the main difference between the miner is that you don't have the heavy down legs and building up a significant set of teams in your syndicate. However, with the central hub being the base of operations is what I call it, the foundation, that creates the sustainability. And then also maybe touch on with other projects, it becomes tough to get in late because of the cost of the down legs. And with us, we're able to make it more sustainable for the average Joe. So if you want to maybe touch on those facts, that would be amazing.
Yeah, well, we've touched on them quite a few times before, but we're eliminating the need for the system to use a secondary token, because if you wanted to advantage of that and receive all of your rewards in the current drip, it's been designed and it's working, you need $196,000. Here, you just purchase each level for a stable price, regardless if it's the first day or the third month or 6th month or a year. So having the full 15 levels, you're starting at $100 the first level, then you're looking at $300 for the second, another $300 for the third, way down, increasing by $300 per level to 15 levels for a total of $4,000. So that right there is really geared towards sustainability for long term. If there's a person in Brazil in favela in a little town, and they don't have a couple $250,000 to be able to capitalize and take advantage of the work that they do in building their syndicate and growing it, they're going to be able to purchase the levels they need as needed, not having to ape in and purchase a secondary token. So that's fantastic. And with the Gigaminer, the different blockchains, it's giving the opportunity to those folks like us. We love Crow. We believe that Crow is fast on the heels of the Binance marketing. They have $1 billion of marketing budget to push projects like us. We want to be the top of the Crow list of absolute best projects with the most amount of VL, right? We're at the right place at the right time. All of DeFi is a $221 billion market. That's how much money is locked up in DeFi, guys. It's absolutely insane. And we are definitely going to stand out with the returns that we're providing investors. It's just simple math. What you're able to get, over at Consensus or over at Aave. I mean, guys, it's nothing comparable to what we're offering. It's just a matter of getting out there and winning those hearts and minds, and having a fantastic community, a very professional, team of developers, as well as our admins, moderators. Our user interface has that professional, feel and look, and the way you interact with it, it's quite simple. It's intuitive, right? So we're taking two fantastic projects, we're putting them into one, we're expanding on it, we're creating a grand reserve in the middle where everything's coming into and everything's going back out according to balancing where it's really needed. So I hope that answers, Steve, what you wanted me to touch on.
I definitely did, and you're so well spoken. I've gotten that question many times, so yeah, that was perfect. I appreciate it. Just want a lot of people to hear it from you.
Thank you, brother. And that's why we do these nightly podcasts, guys. We want to keep repeating the same thing over and over to the point that we can all understand it. And if asked, tomorrow, by someone here in our chat, or someone that you may be interested because they're seeing a smile on your face that hasn't been there in years, because you're here compounding at eternity, right? They might ask you, and you might be able to recall, well, I've only heard it 50 times. So yeah, I kind of got this pretty down, and I'm going to share it with you. And if you want deeper, you can, come at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 p.m. UTC, and the whole team is there. They're all, open arms, very professional, empathetic, willing to help you, down to how to go from fiat all the way to Crow, set up your MetaMask, set up, your Trust wallet on your phone, talk to you about VPNs, whatever it is. We are here to help. We are here to enable folks to get the education, understand that you compound 6 days, and then you name one. I know there's a lot of new folks that showed up here today. Maybe they're not here because they're with their family, or time zone just doesn't work for when we actually do our podcast here. This is recorded, this is uploaded, and someone can listen to this at any time, maybe while they're driving to work or walking their dog, and they'll understand the 6-to-1 strategy, and they'll be getting more and more information as we get closer to the phase 2 to stealth launch. We want everyone to have the same opportunity to get into the contract the right way, the fair way. There are no pre-sales whitelists. There are no buddy favors. That is not how we operate. This is a business. This is a company that registered in Florida. It's a limited liability company, and all of the legal, requirements are being taken care of, because we want to ensure that everyone who invests here is here and going to be safe for the long term. Let's get this crypto.
I had a question.
Go right ahead.
I don't know if you answered it. Maybe I just didn't understand it. When you do the cross-chain gigaminers, are we going to have, say it's like Atom, are we going to have Atom and put it into the miner also? Or will
Absolutely.
it run off? Okay. It'll be
Absolutely.
kind of the same thing. So will they be called Aeons also? Will there be Aeons on each chain then that are producing?
Yes. All the gigaminers will have their native, chain, token, right? And you'll come in with those. And we're also exploring some stablecoin gigaminers for those folks that just want to, go in stable. So that's also, in the back room with the coaches and developers looking at the options there. Some folks are wanting to be in stable, want to be in stable, USDT, BUSD, for example. We want to be able to cater to everyone according to whatever their needs are. Different folks have different goals, right? And we want to provide the investment to them wherever they want to be. You want to be in stable, you want to be in Crow. Ethereum would definitely not work. We all know why. But for those of you who can't or don't know, the gas fees would absolutely destroy the investment. It's just not feasible.
Will each chain also have a phase two?
No, that is not something that's on the table at this moment. It's only going to be in Crow, and we want to focus on having really the best project with the highest TVL on all the Chrono. There's not a lot of competition, to be quite honest. So we want to be really, really good at what we're doing here, and we really believe in Crow and the future of what's happened there.
Okay, thank you.
Get this crypto. Fantastic question. And yeah, see how fast Steve hit it up. He's already calling them the Giga Miners. I love this crowd, man. You guys are fantastic. Yeah. Is there anybody else who might want to join us this evening, ask a question, make a suggestion, or maybe you have a comment or even a criticism? We'd love to hear from you guys. Maybe it's your first time with us at the podcast. We'd love to hear from you as well. Welcome to the community.
Question that's like something like I never asked. So I was here when we made the first group, and we were like 100 people or whatever. And although I knew that the miner was coming and it launched, it was like nighttime for me. So I said I'm gonna deposit tomorrow. Then tomorrow became like later in the evening or whatever. So I could have been like first in when we launched the miner, but yeah, that's okay. I just like at 1 or 2 times I saw someone write like post, oh, I've got 75,000 eons in the early days. So that struck me. That was too impressive to miss, right? Like, okay, I got in like the second day essentially, although I could have been from the first ones. But like, how much, how many eons did the really first ones got? Like, is that possible even like to have at that early stage 75,000 eons and write about it?
Absolutely. If you think about it, as it lowers, you're seeing more. Being
But like, how much money that person should have put in even at early stage to have like 70,000 when starting?
Well, it didn't take a lot. It didn't take a lot of money for the folks that started and got in. We did a
Wow.
small beta test, and we asked them not to put over anything over 300 Crow. Nobody here on our team put over 300 Crow. At that time, it was at around $123. Everyone that would come into the project to have an opportunity to get in and take advantage of the Eon. So for launch on the Giga Miners and going cross chain, we're probably going to do a little bit different, to be quite honest with you. So we don't have folks that understand the opportunity and really just go irresponsibly big, okay, and ape in, because that's not what we want here. So
Yeah,
we're going to set some
because
limits. Yeah.
that's a huge amount of eons, like to have like in the first 4 or 5 days of a project, like that person, if he didn't put too much money, then when he claims he's draining like more TVL, like the like the most of us. Like if you have like 10 people like that, so that would be a good setting for anything in the future, that nobody can ape in at so early, or the amount of eons cannot exceed some level or whatever. But that was too early, like 75,000 eons. That struck me like I was so impressed, because like here I am, like compounding every day, and I haven't claimed yet, but I'm not even at half of what he has
Correct.
had.
And to tell you, we how we did it with the beta testing on mainnet, we gave those instructions, and we have a small community of trusted folks that we've grown to respect, not through just a friendship or relationship of investing together, but investing into projects together, and seeing folks that know how to actually hold and set a floor, not being greedy and not taking advantage. Because like with a token, if you have the first folks that came in and purchased a token, if those guys would dump on you, you're finished. There is no more project. It's over. It's done. So we strategically, even a month before launching, selected, handpicked folks that we respect, and we know that are people that are long-term investors. I don't like to use the word whales, but just folks that we know are gonna hold it till the end. They believe in the project. They know the work ethic. They know the plans, and they respect the community. And the reason that you're seeing that our LTV hasn't been drained like a lot of other minor projects, let's keep it real, is because of those 50 first people. They have held the line. They're making sure to not be irresponsible with the claim. And we salute and commend all of them. We have a separate group for those guys. They are the founders of the syndicate that's coming. So they know the big picture. They know the phase 2 that's coming. They're creating their groups, and they're holding steady. And I really appreciate every single one of them, because in the hands of other folks, that would be absolutely detrimental. I don't know if you've noticed that.
Yeah,
They're doing
like
very well.
I would love to know if that would be possible. Like if someone put like if he went like someone came into the miner first, right? Like I come into the miner first, so I put like $1,000. How many eons that guy would get?
It varies. Like I was explaining, it just like it varies. Right now,
I'm talking about first in, first in.
I don't know the math. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It varies. The first guy, we'd have to sit and do a spreadsheet exactly, and retest it again. And then the other guy showed up 10 seconds later. But as it goes up, I guarantee you they take less. But the exact amount, no, it varies from every single transaction. Nobody put 1,000 as the first. I was the first. I put 300. The rest of the team, we were the first testers in that, and nobody here has taken a single claim. So we are holding.
I'm just trying to get a rough estimate of how many eons. Like if I got in exactly when it launched, as I should have been in, because like I knew about it, we were waiting about it, right?
Well,
So
I
how
mean,
many?
if I would have bought Bitcoin at $10, but are we going to sit here and talk about it?
What?
If I would have bought Bitcoin at $10, I could want to go back in time as well. But
No, it's not the same. Like I'm trying to figure if the system at first, how many, a rough estimate of how many eons per your crow was
there is no
balance.
rough estimate. That's what I'm telling you. And I'm telling you that the people that got in were hand selected, and they're holding. And I told you the amount that the team did, and everyone here is holding. So you can appreciate.
If I could add to that as well, with the team here, nobody aped in even that small amount of crow all at once either. It was done in small increments to make sure it's spread, and we did it as safely as possible, because we did have the foresight for those things. As far as the exact number, it's not something we could just come up with off the top of our head. Just like Atlas said, we'd have to sit down and do some math, do some paperwork. But it's something where we were as responsible as possible. We made sure nobody went first with a large amount, and when we're talking a large amount, it was fairly small. But I believe Atlas, correct me if I'm wrong, but our first one each was 5 crow, if I remember correctly.
5, and then 10, and then 15, and then 25. It was all done very responsibly.
And we had to as well.
Guys,
Or,
I have full trust in the team, and I put my money in the team, and I'm bringing friends in the team, and I fucking love Eternity. I'm just trying to figure out how that guy posting about 70,000 eons came to be. Because there is a post like that.
I don't know who he is, and I don't know what number he was or when he got in, if he was a part of the 50 or not. But in order to be able to, on the giga miners, right? Because we can't fix what is the past. Let's be really honest here. The contract is immutable. No, we can't stop the trading. We can't block anyone. We cannot take the funds and bring them to another, version 2. That's the beauty of the safety of this, that it can't be set back. So the fact that we did it the right way and we trusted, a very small community, and we gave them guidelines, was great. But with that said, going into the giga miners, to the other chains, we're going to put limits. We're going to have more variables to make sure that doesn't happen, right? If you want to, let's say ape in, your transaction is going to be denied. And if you do X amount of transactions, you would have to use different wallets, and you'd have to sit there and prepare, and you're going to be really limited to the amounts. Just like when we launched the phase 2 token, there are going to be limits for the first 24, 48 hours.
That's actually perfect.
You have to. So, we're learning from that, and we've seen some folks that got big fast. And, unfortunately, it is what it is. And we're just looking forward and trying to learn from that, and make sure that as we move forward, we're making it more and more fair as we learn, as we see, how folks interact, and taking experience, we have from tokens, because, the miners, it's really, for me personally, and a lot of the rest of the team, it's a whole new thing. We understand tokens very well. And then we've had to take the time for the past month to learn about the miners, to understand, folks, who get in first are going to have more Eon, and the folks who get in later. But at the end of the day, we're all here for the up to 8%. And if you follow the 6-to-1, it doesn't matter where you're coming in, if it's a month from now or 2 months from now. And that's really the name of the game. You're seeing 970 people here. We're expecting 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people in this, so those guys might, ask me the same thing. Hey, what did S2310G on the second day get? Why did he get so many eons? And I'll have the same conversation I just had with you. And, for the giga miners, we're going to put some parameters, are going to, make it more fair. So we don't have to have these conversations again. And at the same time.
Actually, since you mentioned it, sorry, Atlas, since you mentioned it, S23 came in the second day, and got 2-to-1 and paid more for his eons than these guys that got 75,000 coming in fast. So that's like it's certainly needs to be addressed in the future for any miners, because like 2-to-1 is very different to 70-to-1 or 50-to-1 or 40-to-1. Like that's, I think it's good that we have this discussion, because I believe in the project, I believe in the team. I'm staying, and I'm sticking around and putting more money and compounding and whatever, like bringing more people. But that certainly is one discussion to be had.
Yeah, and the guys who are getting in now, the Eon getting Crow at 25. The guys in the second day are complaining. It's it all I think balances out in the end. I believe that. I really believe that, and I understand that. And that's why when people are comparing, I try to encourage them, don't, because you could even have started with the same amount, but according to how many times you compounded and when, 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon, give that a couple of days or a couple of hours, and that's all going to change. And you will be sitting there, and I've seen this from other projects with miners where, hey, but I started with 2 wallets, but I did this one at a different time, and who did you bring it under you? How much did they put? How much are they compounding? And then they sit there and they just don't understand how one has so much than the other. So, if we look at the real underlying factor, right? Let's say, what we came to the restaurant to eat a beautiful, fantastic steak. We had the bread, we had the salad, we had a little bit of minestrone soup, but the steak is what it's really about. You're at a steak restaurant, and we all get to eat the steak. Especially when it's going up, the TVL is increasing and the rewards are going through the roof. I did not hear anyone complaining. Some people were afraid to say how much they were getting paid. And I encourage people not to say, because then other people are going to get jealous and so forth. But now we see people, that are coming in now, and new investors, they're like, wow, I'm getting so much Eon. Okay, the reward is not giving me the up to 8% right now, but I understand that it's all going to level out. And those that have a little bit of experience, they're just sitting back and they're compounding and they're being really quiet and they're just understanding how big they're growing. Regardless of what's happening, there is no question, coming in at 41 cents per crow to coming in at 25 cents per crow, my friend. It's this one. All I hear.
Yeah.
You really did. Just like you, sir, if you tell them, how many Eon you got or how many Aeon you got, they will be jealous of you. So there's always so many variables at play, and with the price changing, with the actions of the community and the actions of individual affecting it.
I'm sorry, Steve, I'm sorry, brother. I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm just saying, how can a guy come to be on the second or third or fourth day with 75,000 Eon? And then I wonder how many guys like that there are. And when they regularly claim we will play by the book, 6-1, 6+1. So the amount of crow they're taking with its normal claim, it's something that bugs me. And at the end of the day, let's be frank, okay? So if you have 75,000 Eons for whatever the reason, why the fuck do you have to brag and post about it and show people that you had a huge amount of Eons when we just get started? That's stupid. Like, you can do it silently, but not post about it. That struck me, and it's annoying too. Like, I'm getting 10-1 Eons right now with a dip, and I'm very happy about it. And I'm compounding, and I'm staying around, and I will be in the drip, and I will be with the team, and I believe in the team, and I know we're all gonna be good, and it's gonna balance or whatever. But like that post and the question, if that's one guy or it's 10 guys like that, that's lingering, in my mind. I'm not jealous of anybody. I'm doing good.
Yeah. The system. Steve, let me. The system is designed even for that. If we really want to analyze it, you look at baked beans, and you see the time they've been around. You look at B&B Miner, which was kind of the first very original popular miner, and it's been around for over 400 days. And you look at Drip, the systems are made to sustain even that on a long-term basis. So it's the issue if all of the people, there's always going to be some bad apples, right? There's always going to be some bad apples. That's why we were careful to select those 50 folks, because we wanted to give them the opportunity, because we know who they are. You know, I don't want to say we know where they live, but you know, you understand where I'm going. We
Yeah.
knew those folks would, you know, work here responsibly, because if they're going to come and they're going to, you know, do huge claims, they would kill the project. It's just math. It's just facts. So we wanted those guys to come in and hold with small amounts, hold the floor. Like Steve was saying, we started with 5, then we went to 10, then we went to 25, and we put limits. And in anything, greed is a very serious threat, and it's a, you know, a real component.
Exactly.
And the reason that, you know, you see a lot of these miners fail was because they didn't start with people that they know, people that they've been in projects with, and have held it down to dust, right? So
Yeah.
we were smart to do it that way. And even with that, you know, when opening it up to the community, there were folks that ran in and they went heavy. And there's bad apples, but you know, through our giga miners that are going cross chain, we want to make sure to put into place as many functions to weed out those bad apples. I've been looking at the contract. I see a couple of people claiming, and I laugh because I understand that their rewards are dropping so much. I saw one guy today he was you know, claiming like, you know, 42, 32 crow, and he put a substantial investment. And the way he played his hand, he's playing himself out of the game by himself. He's going to have to sit there if he wants to really be able to do anything here and earn with the rest of us. He's going to have to change his behaviors. I don't know who that person is, but I've you know, watched the interaction with the contract, you know, from a wallet. And you know, we honestly, we're laughing because we're understanding this person thought that they could cheat the system. They can't. They absolutely can't. So I think we understand each other, and I think you understand. You know, as I'm telling you, the precautions that we took, and the more precautions that we'll do going forward.
Yeah. I'm with the team, and I think you've done an amazing job, and I am not worried. But you know, just like I was wondering about that one case, that the post, you know, and at the end of the day, that one might have been a bullshit post, right? Like, let's face it, between us, like someone saying I've got like these thousand crores or whatever of eons or whatever, that might have been bragging or exaggerating or whatever. As long as as the team stays on top of it, it doesn't see claims that are like huge, breaking the system, like, and damaging everybody. That's great, and I know the team is on top of it and monitoring these things, because like the sooner you get to these things, like if there were guys like that and there were like 4 or 5, then the TVL would never be able to get to its full potential, you know, if they're going at it. But I'm sure that's not the case, so I'm not worried. I trust the team.
Yeah, and we've got great guys that came in this, and they're the founders of the syndicate. They are understanding that they have a big responsibility, you know, in the phase 1, in order to earn the phase 2. You know, they just didn't land there through a raffle, right? We didn't spin the wheel to get people in here. Within 3 hours of us announcing we were going to do this project, we were filled with folks that we handpicked. There's a waiting list of people that wanted to get in, and most of them are very reputable people. They're lounge owners, like Rude from Rude's Lounge. There's fantastic folks. You know, the DeFi snipers, where we're having a AMA there tomorrow. I hope you're able to attend. It's at 8 p.m. UTC, 4 p.m. EST. For everyone, come and join us. There's also prizes to come and attend. You know, these are folks that have been in Drip for a very long time, and they've got a beautiful syndicate. And it's folks that treat this as a long-term investment, and their reputation, their name is involved. We know their wallets. You know, the folks that came in, by the way, into the miner, those you know, 50 folks, we have their wallets. You know, we know their actions. Everybody's playing for the long-term win. Everybody's holding, and the ones that are taking some profits are doing very small, and they're doing it very responsibly, because if the actions seem different, then it'll just hurt everyone. It'll hurt the project. So we're very happy. We're very grateful. We believe that we chose the right folks to come with us on this long journey, and we're fortunate to have them, and they're fortunate to have us as well. We're giving them a fantastic opportunity to really grow.
Great.
Thank you.
I'm a big fan, and I'm full eternity, like for the duration. So let's go.
And that's what we're here to do, man. And sometimes we're gonna have those difficult questions, and we need to address them as a community. We don't want ever people to feel that they can't come and ask a question. That is not fun. That is a fantastic question, and it's reasonable, and it's a question that's geared towards understanding, as well as moving forward. With the giga miners, you asked it very well. How are we going to manage that? How are we going to do that? So you deserve to hear how we did it from the beginning, how we interacted, who was involved, and have those answered, because everything has to be transparent here. And we have a contract. Everyone can look at that contract. Everybody can understand and see what's happening. And it's been extremely positive and wonderful. So, thank you for that. Sometimes people are afraid to come and ask a hard question, but it's important. And if you're leaders, if you're developers, if your team, if you're admins and mods, they can't answer the hard questions with facts, then my friend, you better run from that project.
Yeah.
And that's how we set the tone here. It's serious business. We're positive, we're working hard, but we always have to be transparent, and we have to treat everybody here with respect. There is no such thing as a stupid question or something where it's facts based, and that's what I love about our guys here as well. That's what I love about you coming with a great question. And look, we're poised. We're seeing the growth. Steve H is doing the marketing. What we need more than anything is what we're here to do, to grow this every single day. This is not, hey, let me take a break. I'm going on vacation for a week. I'll see you guys later. Let's see how everything goes. No, that doesn't work. That doesn't fly. This is like an airline. You gotta get the folks who need to get from point A to point B, and not just once or twice. Sometimes 3-4 times a day, you go between two destinations, just moving the people over, and you constantly have to keep booking. You constantly have to fill in those seats, and that is strategy to win. We have to continue our growth.
For me, it's very important that this project is long term, and it's called an investment. Probably Eternity is one of the very few projects right now in crypto that can actually claim the title investment, right? So most people don't understand what an investment is.
Yeah, most people at the BSC think that a long-term investment is 8 months. That's it. You're like, oh my God, I did a long-term investment, 8 months. James, come over here, man. No, long-term investment. And we all understand.
Man, quit fighting it. BSC long-term, 4 days.
Oh man, I've got people. I'm an admin in another project, right? So that has nothing to do with this type of investment. It's a different one. But I get like tons of questions. I'm handling all that kind of shit, and it's probably coming to me from other modular admins too, like the difficult ones or whatever. The ball breaking ones, right? Like I have to solve all this. Like it's like most common question is like, oh, it's been this time. What's going to happen with this, and why the chart is this, and why the chart is that, and like that, we're talking about like even if it's been for something like for like 15 days or a delay of 4 days, or like if the chart, like if the Bitcoin parts. they're scared shitless, and they ask like, what happened and why is this and why is that? Like people are like almost like paranoid on especially in BSC. They like officially based on studies, uh, people in crypto in general, up to a point like 90% or more, actually based on experts, they don't know what the fuck they are doing in crypto. Like they don't know what they're doing. Like they're buying and selling, but they're not understanding any of the fundamentals, and they certainly don't know what investment means. So the fact that eternity actually in a space like that uh, educates people, even the hard way, even like by penalizing that the one who's overclaiming or whatever. And by the way, if you ask me, Atlas, uh, if you build the next miner, you hard code that you cannot actually claim the 6 days. Keep track and forbid claiming 6 days. Only allow it by system on the 7th. That should teach people to begin to learn to understand what investment, what long term means, and whatever. I think it maybe sounds strict, right? But people do not understand basic things. And what I love about eternity is that it's changing that mentality. It's educating people. Like I think it's very important.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, these are the things that have to sit and we have to vote as a team and find the balance, right? It's always good to give people freedom and you know let them handle their investment to the best way possible. That's what's good about the system the way it is. If somebody wants to follow a different strategy, they're going to be punished for it. So it works. We know that it works. Can we make it better? Could we set some parameters, like in a suggestion of, especially in the first, 48, 62 hours, setting some limits, right? Having, features too, if we see and we understand that there's some bad apples, being able to control that. So that's all on the table. We all have to sit and vote. I don't like just making things too stringent, so people feel that their hands are tied completely. But some parameters, I do agree with you 100%, that we can upgrade to put some security measures, and perhaps maybe a suggestion like that. Just like one of the things we want to do is create toggle buttons that if you want to do 6 days claiming, you could just leave that on. You don't have to come and eventually, maybe even later, put the times. I want to, if it reaches, 50 or 60 crow, I want you to claim up to, 6 times a day or 4 times a day. And you could kind of set it and forget it to make it better. So there's a lot of room to sit. There's a lot of room to make decisions, but at the same time, not go too far and make it too stringent to the level that folks will be like, oh man, I don't know, I'm not comfortable. So those are conversations that we really have to have internally, and perhaps as we get closer to doing the giga miners, it wouldn't hurt to do a community vote, right? And have everyone have the opportunity to look at a poll. Hey, do you want it to be a max, that you have to do the 6-to-1, and if you want to claim before the 6 days, it's like a 50% penalty. I mean, this is just an idea, right? I'm not saying that's what we're going to do.
That's exactly what you should do. Listen, you want to be democratic and you want to have all these choices or whatever. I accept that, and I love democracy. I'm Greek. but so this project is based on the acceptance of you putting your money inside and can never take it out. So a person who trusts you enough to put his money in and take it gradually out, not altogether, not withdraw it, not unstake it. So that's already a step that defines the clients, the investors you have. Like it's serious people. It's not people that are stupid. It's not people that they don't know what they're doing. They are coming into the system. They're putting in their money and they're getting their profit, but they cannot take back their money. So that's one step that allows you to define stricter rules as it comes to when it comes to claiming. And I think that most serious people, most serious investors wouldn't have any problem with it. You know, like allowing claiming no matter what. Like if you lower the profit, there are jits, there are people that are stupid enough, and I hope they don't have big bags, as we said. So they're gonna claim every day and don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. Like 0.5% is good for them. If you gave them a piece of pie, it would be good for them because it's free. You know. So once the people here are all people that are accepting the terms of they cannot unstake their money, take them back, and they're in for the long run, then it's not a great distance to put some rules to it that are stricter. Could it be enforcing 6 to 1, 6 and 1? Could it be 50% deduction? Yeah, both great. You know, I would support that, like anything like that, because this is long term.
Correct. And it would keep everybody else's, you know, percentage, the return as close to 8% as possible. So,
Exactly.
you know, those are all positive things, and I agree with you. And, you know, we don't want to, you know, come and say this is what we're going to do. We're far from it. We're just trying to first get the phase 2 going, keep adding more users to the minor one, get that all settled, right? Everything working, questions answered, growth. And then when we go to the Giga Miner, we're gonna, you know, have those options, and ideally we'll come for a vote. We'd love to get, you know, your point of view as well as other investors here. As look, the idea here is to make it better, more sustainable, more long term, and paying out more, right? We want everyone to, because that's just going to make it grow and make it more attractive, and really just safer for everyone. So we're open to that, man. We're open to that. It's just not the time to zero in, if you know what I
Yeah.
mean, on, because
Yeah.
we've got the roadmap of what we have to accomplish, and what we've been working on for such a long time. But as we get there, we'll cross that bridge, and I think we'll do it in a way, you know, the way you said it was pretty great. You know, have the democratic, have the freedom, and if you want to, you know, maybe somebody, let's say, you know, something in their life, right? They had a tragedy or their house burned down. I mean, so many things can happen. Life is a serious business. I mean, it's so dangerous that the only guarantee you have is that you're going to die at some point.
Yeah.
So life is a dangerous game. So if you need the funds, hey, go ahead, take them. But you're going to miss out on so much, and having it to be to an effect of not just not just what you've your reward is, but even, you know, maybe even going to the level you're going to miss out on your eons. We're going to punish you there as well. You know what I mean? So if you want to
It
be
could
out,
be. Yeah.
there's a panic button, like a panic button. Poof! I need
Yeah.
I need a jump, but I'm
Yeah.
out. But I'm walking away, and that's just going to be healthier for the rest of it. So there's a lot of ideas. There's a lot of things that we could do to make it better. That's exactly what we're here to do, to make things better.
That's
Great.
right, Atlas, too. And you know, from many different points of view, when you're looking towards the future and trying to look long term, you know, another factor we have to take into account is that the focus of what we've been doing here is education, teaching, changing some of these people who have that mindset into understanding what is best for their investment. And if the restrictions are too stringent, they're too strong, then what you do is you decrease the onboarding rate, you decrease the people that you can get in to come in for the education. So there's so many factors. It's very early, but I definitely like the idea. Just wanted to throw that out there as well.
Steve, I think that by accepting to put his funds in your hands, your capable hands, I might add, then that's the major decision, right? Or it's either I come into the miner or not, my friend. I don't know you. I don't know Atlas personally. I don't know anybody. You know, I was brought here. I know that you have a good reputation. I ask my questions, and people I respect vouch for you, and I see you, and I've met you. Now I know you a little better, and you know we talk and we exchange all these things, and you know I feel like that was a great decision. But when I come and I'm new, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about anyone, and I accept the premise that I will put in my money without a button of and stake, then that's the major thing here. The restrictions are not going to bother anyone because that will show them that we mean business, that we're not here to fuck around and not allow people to fuck around, right? So a guy that got like a shitload or whatever, if he wants to take the reduction in profit and go ahead with his game, long term is again damaging the project.
Correct.
And we should,
No, I really appreciate the kind words there. And in the end, this is a numbers game. It's math. And you have to analyze each situation by the numbers and solely by the numbers, not by emotion or by anything
Exactly.
other than what works and what doesn't work. So, that's something I know I'm committed to because we need to make sure everybody wins and we're doing this thing right. And the only way to do it right is by the numbers. So, but I definitely appreciate the kind words and, thank you for all the questions too. Sometimes the harder questions are the ones that push you to grow more, push you to show the community we're here for the long term and we're not afraid of the tough questions. So I really do appreciate it.
It's in the family climate though, like don't misunderstand it. Like these conversations should be done because I care about the project and I want the project to do well, and I'm here for hopefully years, right? And we should address all these things. And as Atlas said, at the end of the day, when we need to do some change or whatever, or make something stricter or change or whatever, we can just have a vote or whatever. I think that people here, the 900 and how many are we now? 77, like almost 1,000 people here. We came here for a reason. We know what's up. So any bad apples or anybody who is weird or whatever doesn't belong here and he came for some other reason, he better move on or choose just another project or whatever, because we're here to make money together, and we have a system making it. So that's it's very certain, very specific how the system works.
Exactly. And, just like you said, one of my favorite sayings, we're not in this for practice. Everybody needs to make money. That's the point of this investment.
Yeah.
So, I definitely agree with you. More stringent requirements would be more beneficial to everyone. And I truly believe in my heart that if we did a DAO situation and we took it to a community vote, that's the way it would go every time because our community is just rock solid. It really is.
Oh yeah. Best
Rock
community,
solid.
best project, and best community. I have to say that I'm a big fan. I'm hardcore Eternity.
That's it.
That's it. Great. Is there anybody else? Thank you for the question. I also want to give chance if there's anybody new. We've had some growth today. I see another user joined. We have 978. We're getting very close to that 1,000. And we also want to hear if there's anybody that might have another question or want to introduce himself, make a suggestion, or critique. All right. Okay. Well, look, we're an hour and 46 minutes into the podcast. I believe that we're going to go ahead and close it. We'll hang out as we usually do after the podcast and have some more conversations as well. But we don't want to keep it too long for the folks that are going to be listening later. I thank every single one of you for coming this evening. Fantastic Mother's Day for the folks in America. And we wish you a wonderful evening, and we'll see you here tomorrow at the same time. Also, before that, we do want to let everyone know over at the DeFi Sniper and the pinned messages, you'll be able to find the link to go on over to the DeFi Snipers for the AMA at 8 p.m. UTC, 4 p.m. EST. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.